I'm finally here. I think. Let me verify here. Am I? I'm not. What? Okay, I'm finally here. I am okay. I am live. Okay, well we can start this right now.
So today we're going to be continuing to take a look at a scenario where civilization starts over. We are now on episode 83 of this series, and in the last episode we saw a ton of events relating to World War.
Indeed, I don't like where this is going. Like, I'm pretty sure that he's going to make the old empire come back in World War V. I just know it. I hope he doesn't, but I know he will. Knowing this, he'll probably do it, cause he likes doing that. Yeah, so yeah, we were in the American invasion of Brazil, fascist Brazil, I might say, might add.
War 5 take place. So if you haven't seen the last episode, make sure to go watch it before seeing this one. But for example, we saw the deployment of the non-nuclear high radius bomb.
Oh yeah, that happened on the capital of Brazil as well. Yeah, yeah.
Bombs in Brazil, the fall of the pink team in Central.
Oh yeah, that happened too. Jeez. I mean, it's pretty good that he's doing, get back to our memories.
Asia, and Rome and the Farmers Republic joining the war on the side of China. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like on it.
Is China communist, chat? Is this our real China? Was this all along our real China? And that's why they are like with the commies. Was this all along? Was this just a real China all along? Like they were always communist. Hi, Central American Tico, and no, I am not Papi Hello, Yan Papi Hello. No, it's paleo historian. Not really funny. Anyway,
and subscribe to the channel if.
Thanks for everyone who's in live and who is literally live in the live. Okay, never mind. I might just close my windows real quick. Anyway,
if you're new, we are about 1,500 away.
Go subscribe to this pro, even though I'm pretty sure that's if you are on this live, I'm pretty sure you are subscribed already, but yeah.
From 200k, and once again, when we get super duper close to that, I'm thinking around 100 away, I'll start going live on the channel here, so make sure to tune in for that. But anyway, let's go ahead.
Also, if you sub to this pro, put this bell here. Pretty useful, pretty good, pretty cool and all. So yeah, please do that.
And jump straight into the scenario. Alright, so in the last episode, we left off with Rome and the Farmers Republic joining on the side of China. It was revealed that America was the main perpetrator in the
because it's because they were against Romans. They kind of lied about helping them not collapse.
Collapse of Rome. Upon hearing that news,
apparently, no matter the universes, America will always hate commies, I guess. Yep, that's all I found to say.
They decided to join the war, and that's where we left off here in Europe. On the only border that Rome shares with an enemy nation, we see German troops enter into their country. However, this little incursion is very short-lived due to the fact that the Alp Mountains are here. So Rome sets up a geographical defensive line that helps.
It might be a bit hard here with the Alp Mountains. But hey,
them survive a little bit.
I mean, this pro sometimes just forgets mountain exists, so that's surprising. Anyway,
longer. In the meantime, though, they are going to be getting their army up and ready. They were already kind of prepared because, I mean, who doesn't have their army on high alert when a world war is happening?
I mean, Switzerland probably doesn't, but that's only my opinion, and that's only for IRL Switzerland. So I don't know about Switzerland right there. I mean, although I'm pretty sure that Switzerland still had its army on a higher alert in World War II. So you know what? Never mind.
But they need to put some final touches on it and make a better plan as to how they're going to fight in this war.
Oh yeah, because they only have one front line with Germany, but might not push here. I mean, they could try doing a naval invasion in France, but I mean that would like reinforcement from from Andalusia / Spain, from Galicia, from the Dutch could go in quickly, so that might not be really a good idea. And yeah, so.
More so, what role are they going to play? Now that we're heading back down here to the front line between Egypt and Libya, and this front line.
Yeah, so yeah, Egypt and Again, I'm pretty sure he's going to make the old Empire come back here. This is so obvious. Why would he? I mean, I was gonna say why would he make Egypt join, but I mean, yeah, the Suez Canal is a pretty good point actually.
Is starting to shift a little bit in the favor of the 3-point star alliance due to the fact that the Western
I mean, I don't know who to support because like these are my favorite countries on the side of 3-point star alliance, but at the same time,
Africans have
America sucks. So why would I support them? You know what I mean? Like, why?
sent their armies over here and are now fighting against Egyptian forces.
I hope that sounded. You heard me right? Just say it in the chat if you did. Also, Swiss might come back. Rome stakes over was your. It will trust. No, I don't. I don't think it will. Rome does not. Yeah, no, it doesn't. That's what I was saying. High Sasa ball mapping. Yeah, I think I pronounced it right. Anyway, so.
As well as Sudanese and Central.
Oh yeah, cause yeah, those guys are also in. For some reason, I don't know why this guy joined, but hey, they joined.
Central African forces. Their advancement into Egyptian occupied territory goes very well.
But I thought Egypt was stronger than Libya. Although wait, let me see who's in. I mean, you could argue that the Mediterranean
Fight in this war. More so, what role are they going to play? Now that we're heading back down here to the front.
Yeah, like maybe the Mediterranean countries helping somehow with things. Maybe it's just European forces going here because, well, there is nothing to fight. I don't know.
Line between Egypt and Libya, and this front line is starting to shift a little bit in the favor of the 3-point star alliance due to the fact that the Western Africans have sent their armies over here and are now fighting against Egyptian forces as well as Sudanese and Central African forces.
Oh yes, also I have West Africa who's in the 3-point star alliance, so I forgot. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know who to support because Triangle Alliance sucks and is against my favorite countries, but 3-point star alliance sucks even more, but has my favorite countries in them. Like it's like, bro, what do you want me to say? I don't care whoever wins, although knowing at this point it's probably going to be like World War III where nobody truly won. So I'm pretty sure it's just going to be like that, knowing at this when there's two parties that equally sucks, it's basically how it ends. Like well, World War III where both parties were imperialistic, kind of fascist, I guess, because they kind of wanted to expand via their via what they had historically. So I guess you could argue they were kind of fascist and shit. Although mostly imperialist because they were technically on paper still democratic. So
advancement into Egyptian occupied territory goes very well. In fact, they are nearing the border of Egypt already, and Egyptian forces are being very overwhelmed at this point. They do hold out in the north here, and they also hold out in the south, and of course, they do still occupy all of the Suez area.
I mean, yeah, of course, because it was there, so I'm pretty sure there's a population that lives there, if there is any. I don't know. In real life, there are people living near the Suez Canal, probably though. Well, they're probably going to support Egypt anyway.
On over here to the
Anyway, yeah, we go. Yeah. So, oh yeah, that was happening. Totally forgot about. Yeah. So, I guess Vietnam is cooked, and so is Korea. I hope they will get a comeback, but knowing it is, it probably won't happen. This guy just hates Korea. Just let them have a win for like forever. Like they gonna dub after World War III, and they just collapsed because that is promoted them to collapse. I don't know.
front line between South China, aka
This is South China. This is not South China. This is a fraud here.
North Vietnam and normal Vietnam, things
Okay, so we did call them both South China and it's Vietnam and normal Vietnam.
are wrapping up.
I mean, fair enough. Why not? I agree with this.
Very quickly. China has stopped its full-on advance into India.
Oh yeah, because I mean, it's surprising because like, isn't like, there's the Himalaya mountains here, but like, isn't that like basically all of this flat land like can just pour in force? I mean, although because it's flat land, it has also a lot of population, so that could be a good argument. But like, if I remember correctly, like with the major city maps, most of the population like live like here basically. I mean, kind of here too, but more here, yeah. Like, but because of Persindia, like Persindia starts here, so obviously they're going to be more interested in those areas, especially when they start their colonization of Africa. It was this direction, not this one, and then like she probably like only Persindia started to build major cities. Like not not really early on, so it has the most major city here, which kind of makes sense again because Persindia comes from Persianish area, then just go anyway.
Yeah, and has instead decided to reorganize some of their
Yeah, because I mean the only problem here because it's also flatland, so that means that India could also do a pushback pretty easily because, well, again, it's flat. There's no cover.
troops.
I mean, unless you can some rivers, but like Addis doesn't really care about rivers as a cover up for wars and shit. So yeah.
And to focus on taking out Vietnam as soon as possible. Once Vietnam is out of the way, that's going to open the doors for South China.
Yes, yeah, because once Vietnam here it's dead, then it's going to be a 2v1 here because Korea's already dead. R.I.P. Korea. I doubt that the wait, no, it's a republic here. So yeah, I doubt that the shogunate of Japan is going to do much because they haven't done much since like forever. But hey, maybe they have like a super navy or something. I don't know.
To help out China in their war against India, and that would be very, very helpful. So,
I mean, yeah, because well, again, the Sultanate of Japan is not going to do anything.
China will set up a defensive line between Tibet and
Smart move, really smart, China. You have good thought here. I mean, I'm talking to a fictional character anyway.
the Bay of Bengal, while they send a majority of their military forces over.
Yeah, because this is dead, so then it's a 2v1 again, because Sultanate of Japan is not going to do anything.
Over to South China to invade into Vietnam. The first little change that we see from this movement is over here on the border between China and Vietnam, and it goes extremely well. We have China going.
Not really surprising here. Not again, like not at all surprising. Turn your voice louder. Oh my god, that might be a little bit hard. Haixi. No, I'm pretty sure that's like zigooning. Turn your voice louder. I don't know because neighbors. So like that was I was here to check out see if my voice was loud enough. So I might talk a bit like that, but yeah, I'm not used to it. I don't know why you think that annoys me. What? Zig? No. Oh yeah, what? Never mind. I guess yeah, there is link to. Yes. Okay. Hello, Zigu. I'm subscribed to you. Yeah, because I'm subscribed to a lot of whiskey YouTubers for some reason.
All the way down this coast and taking over these two major cities. We also see that the South Chinese capture these two major cities over here.
I mean, the rest of these would happen, but I'm still sad because I like the actual South China.
And then eventually are able to take over this major city. Vietnam has a lot of major cities.
You know what would be funny if like they lost among like if they lost completely at the end of the war. What would be really funny is if the fake South China do Uno reverse to the true South China and just annex them, all of it. that would be really funny. I don't know if he will, if Addis will do it, but that would be really funny. Even though I love the actual South China, they're cooked. Like they're cooked. It's over. They're basically the good invasion from like your major cities are captured. Yeah, no, it's over.
Cities, maybe a little bit too much. Anyway, though, the Chinese duo is doing an extremely good job here because the Vietnamese military at this point doesn't really know what to do. Their government has a
like, what are they supposed to do? China over here. It's the second strongest country in the world. What are they supposed to do? Punch them?
Essentially collapsed at this point. The capital city is long gone. And
Yeah,
what we see is that like the federal
should have put their capital city here. I don't know. Not as a border of their enemy, at least. That would have been like, a little bit smarter, but it's only my opinion.
government just keeps city hopping from city to city because they just keep getting taken.
How did they not surrender yet is beyond my comprehension. Like, you know you're cooked, especially when the second strongest country is pushing into your territory. But again, only my opinion, I guess.
Eventually, South China has a really big encirclement down here, which is it's going to be a very bloody battle. The Vietnamese troops here fight very fiercely.
Damn, who would have thought that Vietnam still will always fight fiercely? I mean, I wonder now that I think about it, why does the real South China just doesn't use the Vietnam tactics? I mean, technically they're not Vietnam, so that's probably why, because again, they are South China. I don't care what the propaganda says, I don't care what Addis says, they are South China. I mean, in my head canon, like, they're like in South China, they call themselves South China, but like everyone else, when the fake South China exists, everyone else is like, bro, you're Vietnam, you're not South China. But that's my head canon, so it's not really canon.
Just not fiercely enough. They eventually are overrun and are forced to evacuate through the ocean.
Oh yeah, they can do that.
And down over here to the Malay Peninsula.
I mean, it's not gonna matter anyway. Like, just give up, man.
Meanwhile, up north, we have Chinese forces cleaning up
Bro, you are dead. Why are you still fighting?
This area and taking over any minor settlements that may still exist. They also take over this major city.
Bro, there's just jungle here. Like, what settlement?
Down here, and little by little, the full-on front line moves south into Vietnamese territory. Back over on the front line with India, though, they have taken advantage of.
Exactly, because again, flat land, no defenses, so counterattacks are easy to make. Actually, there are a few major cities here. I mean, not as much as the other one. Because again, percentage shit like explained earlier.
The fact that China has less forces in the area and are pulling off a pretty good counteroffensive, taking back this major city over here in Bangladesh, and also.
I saw the wheat here, and not the weed, the wheat with a T here. It's really important because again, Bangladesh, the Bangladesh area is like really fertile and all.
Also threatening to take back these other major cities, however they are stopped by defensive Chinese forces. Now I need to comment real quick on the state of the world and more specifically what's happening in America and China, because remember in the last episode I talked about how there was protests in these countries, and these protests—
oh yeah, he did talk about it. Also still waiting for the AN. Still like my meme that I did. Can I find it? Yeah, and he's the main character now, by the way. I really eat tacos. Oh, me too, but I love tacos. I mean, I don't really eat it that much. So yeah, I was going to see like the meme that I did. If I managed to find it here, don't think it was. I think it will be that hard to find. Where's the meme? Oh yeah, that was that was like, you cannot tell me that is literally the end. That is literally the end right now. American using bomb strength nukes on Brazil, killing minions. I sleep. Like, guys, do your job, and not with bias. See if that's possible. Although knowing those guys, that probably isn't.
Are just over time, they're gradually getting more and more larger and more violent. Violent as in the people there.
Nice. I hope they don't do French level of things. See, if you know, you know.
Are demonstrating a little bit too hard. There is a line between protesting and rioting, and the protesters at this point have kind of crossed over that line a little bit, and they're more in the rioting territory, which is going to make both America and China deploy their military to deal with the protests.
Oh, isn't like that like illegal according to the AN thing? And aren't those guys like Security Council member? What do you mean in my simulation I did not respect the thing that was created that is a copy of the UN? I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway.
Protests. Not the police, not the National Guard, the actual military. Tanks can be seen rolling down the streets of American major cities, and the same happens over in China. Additionally, we also see very similar, just not as large scale movements happen in West Africa, with some military forces being deployed around the capital city. And even in India, we see the National Guard be put.
Wait, even India has revolt. Bro, their country was built after a civil war. Like, this is supposed to be the country least able to do things like that. They revolted because the oligarchs sucked and all that. And you're telling me that they're killing civilians and doing basically even alone oligarchy? Why did you revolt from the Presindians if you wanted to have still an oligarchy type of system still living? Like, why?
Put in a lot of the more.
Just bring back the Presindians if you want oligarchs. Jeez, man. Like, just really, man. Like, it's not, bro. I don't understand India.
More populated
Federal Republic of India, my ass, bro. It's a Prescindian Federal Republic now.
Major cities where there are some protests. Now, the protests in India are nowhere near as bad as
Now it makes sense. Okay.
As the protests in America or China. But at this point, a lot of the people around the world, and especially the people in the larger countries, are just, becoming more aware of the situation in their country.
Okay, at least India is not doing as bad as China over here, so I guess that's fine.
They're becoming more aware of the whole gap between the ultra wealthy and, the typical average citizen. The Indian elites.
It's still an oligarch type of system, so again, just go back to Percentius if you want an oligarchy.
Aren't as bad as the American and Chinese elites, but they are still elites. The only country where we see elites that don't have any kind of, just small scale protest at all is Red Australia. And
damn, crazy to think that a fascist nation is doing better things than fucking America and China and India and shit in this series. Damn, that's surprising. I'm pretty sure it's going to say something that it's because everyone that says something about the government gets killed or something. I'm pretty sure.
That's because they're fascist.
Hey, what did I say?
And if you protest against the government there, you get shot on sight.
Well, I hate being right, I guess. Hey, I called it.
So don't do that. And then there's Brazil as well. I think we should probably talk.
Let's not. I wanted to just ignore what's going on in Brazil. I mean, they literally got like worse than nuked, and they got that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got that 5 times. And I think that was something here that isn't shown here was also get those bombed here. So
talk about Brazil. They're in a full-on mini civil war at this point. They have multiple ethnic groups within their country.
I mean, that's crazy to think that the more I think about this, the more it's weird that Brazil became fascist as they were literally a union between their union. They united from the ex-African Union colony that was around here, and they were a Spanish colony, so their union is kind of multicultural, and then they become fascist. Something doesn't add up here. There is clearly something wrong here. I mean, so if Brazil loses World War V, and there isn't a division between the Spanish portion and the African portion, that is really weird. It's even weirder because those countries were Spanish colonies, unless the one that are actually controlling the governments are from the one from Africa and the African Union. It's a long dead African Union now, and they are the one controlling the government and basically doing that as a revenge for colonialism. You know what? That's pretty good headcanon, so I'm taking that. Yeah.
Trying to break away and reform their lost sovereignty. The people in these movements have picked up a key word to call themselves. They call themselves the Sovereigners. And like I just said, it's because they want to reform the sovereignty of their country. So while we're over here in Brazil, let's go.
That's a pretty fair point. That's a pretty good idea.
Go ahead and continue.
Yeah, so it was 6 because this wasn't shown. So yeah, they got that 6 time.
Continue to move this front line because it is continuing to move. American forces are still pouring into the continent.
Please leave this major city
alone. And due to the deployment of those NNHRBs, the Brazilian military
they took this major city. Why? How could they? How dare they? Why did they do that? Okay, won't spoil. I just watched the whole episode. Yeah, please don't spoil. Honestly, triangle like I like farmer and Russians to from start like the Italian Union, but none of the Italian Union members like the two things that are in the 3 Point Star Alliance who would support any same here. Real Rise for Revolution, Rise for Revolution. No, let's not. We're prepared for like this is insane. I won't spoil. Yeah, please don't spoil the vaccine, please. That would be really nice if you don't. But yeah,
military, government, and infrastructure system is in complete ruin. Not only have these, non-nuclear bombs been deployed, but we still have the American Navy just barraging the.
Oh yeah, that makes sense that it's still happening. Although like most of the coasts are under their control, so that's kind of weird. But that's only my opinion, again.
Coastal areas destroying any military and infrastructure targets. This is 10 times worse than anything Brazil saw in their initial war with America. And in a more specific area over here,
10 times worse. Jeez, man, that might suck.
in the easternmost area of Brazil, we see a high concentration of American troops be deployed. This is where the main invading force is actually located, not up here in the north. It is surprising for a lot of military experts around the world because, of course, you would want to invade what's closest to you, but just the pure dominance that the American Navy.
I mean, like they were able to launch an invasion like all the way to Oceania, so that's not really surprising that this area of Brazil is not that hard to invade. So yeah,
has in South America is allowing for them just to land wherever they want. Now, of course, they can also use Brazilian ports that they haven't destroyed for their own uses. But not only is Brazil struggling to go ahead and appoint a new leader, they're also struggling to get all of their military generals to do their job. So all of them would be fired if there was a leader who could fire them. Anyway, propaganda.
Yeah, that might be a problem. Yeah, that might be a problem. Yeah. Yeah, that's that's yeah, indeed. Jeez, we can barely see this triangle here. Barely see it right there. Like, it depends on which angle you are. Like, if you could change my vision anyway.
Propaganda pamphlets are now being dropped all over the south of Brazil, specifically in this area down.
Okay, so yeah, basically the last major city. Yeah, America was like, yeah, I don't want that to exist anymore. Wipe this out of the map. What do you mean there are millions of people living? I missed the part, well that's my problem. I mean our problem. Anyway.
Here, where the ethnic groups don't exactly identify themselves, that's the wrong map, with Brazil, as you can
indeed, that is a wrong map. That is.
See, there's a lot of.
Oh yeah, I mean, wait. Oh yeah, because yeah, this is the Irish. This is the Irish here. This is a Brazilian. This is Spanish, and this is the African.
Different ethnicities.
Wait, it wasn't like here, like a Spanish colony. So, I mean, although like they can, I mean, considering it's mainly rainforest here, like it doesn't surprise me that if the Spanish that were here were like, well, this sucks, and now that the Spanish government doesn't force me to live here to populate the area, I'm just going to move here, and many Brazilians who had, who became independent just moved up. Yeah, again, like this is the remnants of the colony, pretty much. And yeah, again, here, this is the Irish.
In South America overall, a lot of different religions. But these guys in the South, they more stem from the Western European branch.
Yeah, because Irish colonization.
While the ones up north are more from the Africans.
Yeah, because, again, African Union colonization. Then they're gonna say, bro, we're against colonization. Bro, then why did you do colonization?
/ Middle Eastern branch. But most importantly and overall, these are former countries that were annexed by Brazil. And, given the circumstances of what's happening to Brazil right now, and on top of the propaganda pamphlets being dropped on top of them by America, they feel that the time might be right. And what would you know? The time
They didn't actually bombard this thing, it's just rebelling. Okay.
Is right. We have a large ethnic community down here in the southeastern quadrant of Brazil breaking away and declaring their sovereignty, much like the different rebellions in the north have. Instantly, they have themselves 3 major cities under their control.
Why Brazil? Why did you seriously? Okay, no, never. I'm joking, guys. It's a joke.
Due to the governments in these 3 cities wanting to break away.
Of course, it's a joke, because genocide is bad. It's a bad thing.
From the fascist Brazilian government. On top of that, we also see yet another group breakaway. This time, it's the Orange group up here, and they also have these 2 major cities that are breaking away with them. Brazil is in a...
Yeah, no, they're collapsing. Just made them... I was gonna say, just make them surrender. But there is no leader to surrender. So... yeah, no, their situation just sucks. It just sucks. It just sucks on... Yes, Brigo... What America did to Brazil was wild. Bro, what do you mean, bro? You already watched the episode, KJ guy. I know you did. So I'm scared. Yes, indeed, Nick Parvin. Reason is getting clapped. And again, just don't forget the thing that I said when I mentioned this simulation, okay? I didn't say anything, if someone asked you, okay? Because, I would like to continue the simulation, but my phone is kinda non-existent right now, so that might be complicated, but yeah.
Semi-collapsing state right now. They just cannot get everything together, and as the days go on, there's more and more countries in this specific region that are looking to maybe reclaim some past land. America is in negotiations and talks with South American countries that are not aligned with the fascists.
I don't like where this is going.
And of course, their main offer is restoration of old land. This is
yeah, of course, and totally not controlled your economy or something like that. Totally not, bro.
Is specifically going to capture the interest of the southern Argentinian country and also the dark red country up here. Both countries have suffered a lot of lost land due to the fascist neighbors around them, and it very well could be that we see them join the war on the side of America, but for now, we head up to the front line between Russia and Norway.
Yes! Go, Norway! Go! It's kind of sad that those 2 goats, basically these goats right here, didn't join against Russia. Like, I would like to see a comeback, like them annexing, like something like this, taking something here, and taking like something like this, and like totally not referring to the land that they had or something or anything. I just want them to have that for no peculiar reason. Totally, bro, trust me.
Russian occupational forces have finished their occupation of the pink team. They now have that under their control, and now the main Russian military is making their way over to the front line between them and Norway.
Okay, that might actually be bad.
Now, of course, this isn't just Norway. There's also all the other Western European nations. So when Russia finally pulls off a counteroffensive, they do take back one major city, and following that, they also go ahead and encircle the northern St. Petersburg area, which leads to some of these Norwegian troops escaping into Finland, which, when Russia looks at Finland, Finland's just like,
well, I didn't do anything, man. She just kind of like entered, and okay, yeah, I let them enter, but like, I didn't say like come in, like they just entered. Like, I'm not going to shoot at some people with guns, like, I didn't do anything. They just did that, and I just didn't do anything about it.
I didn't let them do that. They did that illegally, but secretly.
Exactly, bro. That's what I was saying.
Finland's probably complying with Norway and sending those troops back.
Yeah, because of course they are ally and pretty close and have Scandinavian socialism, so Yeah, makes sense here.
Home. Anyway, this little front line over here is once again going to be stalemated due to the influx of Western European troops that are now pushing back against the Russian counteroffensive.
Nice.
And now we move to the front line between Germany and Rome. Rome is pushing back. Congratulations, Rome. Yikes. The green team
Wait, no, wait, did I say yay? I mean, I don't care.
in northern Italy as well.
I mean, technically, I don't know who I prefer between Germany, who existed like twice in history for a few moments, and I hate because this just makes less land for the Dutch, and Rome. I mean, the new Rome is not communist, and I hope doesn't want to take land from like the antiquity era and shit. So I don't know, like kind of like this is Rome, so I just kind of still hate them, but at the same time, this is Germany, who I mean I hate because just unite with the Dutch already, man. Just unite. Just do that, please. That would be nice.
As the Pink Sicilian team both joined the war on the side of America.
But why?
Rome seems to have forgotten that America was the one that freed both of these countries.
Oh yeah, no, okay. So that one is so I guess Savoy didn't join, but um, Lombardia did join. So okay, so now we basically have in Europe, in the side of America, we basically have Galicia, Andalusia, the Republic of Galicia, the Republic of Andalusia, the Republic of France, the Dutch Republic, the Republic of Lombardia, and the Republic of. Jeez, find a name, find a name, find a name, find a name, a name, a name, a name, a name, a name, a name. The Republic of Pontus, you know, like it's a Greek city. Like it's no, never mind. Um, um, don't mind me. Just wrong one. The capital city is here. I am not the Republic of Metaponto. Nice, nice, nice. Totally.
So when the leader of America makes a little phone call to both of these guys saying, hey, remember how we just got you independence? Come help us out. Those leaders are obviously going to say yes because they're in debt to America. But they are going to serve as a very good distraction.
Bro, America, that's not really nice.
And a very good way for the Western Europeans to properly send their.
Come on, Republic of Savoy, you're not going to do anything about this? You're letting your buddy just die because America said so? Come on. Come on, Savoy! Come on, man! Do something about this.
Troops into Rome because now they can send and stage their troops in northern Italy and invade down in.
Oh yeah. Yeah, thanks you, Lombardia. Thank you so much for this.
To the peninsula. Rome has been exposed. So Rome does what Rome does. They send their military in to the green.
So wait, what's the name? Yeah, so we Republic. It's that way I won't forget. I'm just doing that real quick. Anyway,
Team in a very crucial blitz. They're able to capture the.
yeah, who would have thought that this would go any other way? Not me.
Capital city of the Lime team,
I'm joking. Of course I did. Like that's why I said like, bro.
and slowly start to maneuver into the north of the country until they finally meet those Western European troops that I was talking about. Meanwhile, in the south, though, another Roman army group had made advances into the
Republic of Metaponto.
Ping team, also threatening to capture their capital, but they did not do it. Instead, they isolated this major city over here, and now we quickly pivot down south to Egypt. And they've all been pushed out of Libya. Alright.
Aren't you? Wait, no, that's right. West Africa is with America, so yeah.
Libyan forces re-enter into Egypt for the first time in a very long time, and instantly they capture this major city over here with the help of
Last time they did that is when they jumped the old empire alongside Caspia, Russia, and I remember.
West African forces. We're quickly going to pivot right back on up to Rome. America has just fired on a protester. Not just one protester.
What is the... Jeez, man, that's so dark. I was scared for a second.
Though, in a major city just south of the capital, during a protest that the government is now considering a full-on riot, American military personnel opened fire on a group of protesters. Granted, the
I swear,
protesters
if America doesn't get a civil war in at least the next episode, I might just like this will be pure bias.
were definitely provoking those military officers and might have been throwing like rocks at them and stuff like that, you know, normal protester stuff. But the soldiers gunned down not only the dudes that were throwing rocks at them, the entire crowd.
Yeah, that's even worse. I hope they collapsed. They'll collapse, right? No, they don't. Okay, well, that's nice.
Crowd was gunned down. America will quickly move to cover up the story from reaching international discourse, but unfortunately, it's the era of modernization and the internet.
Yeah, buddy. Unless you do like a North Korea thing, or you have your own intranet. Yeah, that information is getting out, brody. You can't do anything about it. Like that's close to the capital too. Like the rate, like was probably like around here, and probably like more around here, around this, probably in one of those four major cities. So it's close to the capital too. So that means like like the leader of the country can say, "Oh well, I did tell them to not shoot, but they did it anyways. They didn't listen." But hey, you're like hyper close to it. You cannot say you weren't aware of this. Like, and you can't say like it's not like the information is going to take like. I mean, it's the internet. It always it's going to be instantaneous.
Exist. So that thing is on like TubeU immediately, and quickly all of the protests across America just become extremely.
Damn, why do they have so few major cities? Like, I feel like this should add them like had a little bit more like in here, cause America like just doesn't feel. I feel like it should have more population here. It just looks weird. Same for California, by the way.
Violent and extremely large. A pollster group in America ran a poll, and it says that 50% of total citizens in America have at one point participated in these protests. That's half of their nation.
So they're going to kill half of their nation now. What, like?
That is insane. The largest protest in the history of this world.
Who did it?
Exactly 4 days later.
What? My brother. How are they still democracies? How are they still democracy?
Later, another shot is heard, this time in China. In their capital city, the Chinese military also opened fire on a group of protesters. And much like America, this only escalates the situation. China will quickly deny that they had any involvement in the gun.
Again, if it is in the region that is shown by it is, you're lying. Your capital is here. You got a lot of major cities close to it. Like even the furthest, like you could argue that is considered. If you only take like what is shown by Alice Pro, even this one is pretty close. It's still like a few hundred kilometers, like a few thousands or even more. But still,
hunting down of those protesters, saying
it's not like it was like far in the north.
that it might have been a rogue agent that had done so, but conflicting sources and witnesses give a
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and again, it's close to the capital, probably, so you don't have any excuses.
different story. They say that the person or the soldier that started the opening of fire, because after he did it, a bunch of the other soldiers did so as well, was wearing Chinese military equipment, looked Chinese, and apparently uttered something in Chinese before doing so. So now America and China are just full of protests, full of riots, and full of civil unrest. Eventually, the severeness of these protests and riots begin to spread to other countries, much like the original protest did as well. So now West Africa is experiencing a lot of riots. India is now experiencing riots.
Damn, if they do the same thing as those two did, like, this government is basically just personnel. Like, it will officially become Persinia 2.0, but it's not colonial and isn't like hyper ultra mega capitalist and all that stuff.
Maybe they'll have to deploy their military as well. But now going back to Rome, they begin to be pushed back. Slowly but surely, the Western European forces begin to overpower the Roman forces.
To think that this guy was once like in the top 3 of most powerful countries in the world. And he's struggling against, I mean, still a lot of countries to be fair. But like, you got natural defenses, so that's not really a full excuse.
And even though the Romans see victory in the south taking over the rest of the peninsula, the Western Europeans eventually break in. Immediately, they sever Rome into 2 pieces and capture 4 major cities within the first month of the operation.
Nice.
At the same time as that operation, much more was going down as they made their way down the Roman coast and captured 2 other major cities. Additionally, at the same time, we also see Germany do much of the same, and Rome quickly starts to fall in the north. Back over in Brazil, American forces are continuing to do what they want with Brazil, as little to no resistance stops them. At this point, different military generals in Brazil are starting to kind of move their own way. Now there's like a fascist council in Brazil that's kind of taken over power while they still like work to appoint a dictator, and they've been trying to give orders to the Brazilian military, although like it's just all over the place. So what we see happening is a lot of these Brazilian generals doing their own thing, and then, you know, obviously it's not doing so well.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Because America is still just absolutely.
Yeah, well, yeah, I can see that, but like, I mean, it's also the strongest country in the world. So if Brazil is not united, obviously there are cooked.
Destroying Brazil. But for example, we have one of the generals going out, ignoring orders to go to the front line with America, and instead heading down south and wiping out a good portion of the Orange group. He then makes his way over here to the front line with the Green team and does much of the same, taking back.
Okay, so at least you're winning land, I guess.
A major city and eliminating a good portion of the.
I just hope it's not genocide. That would be cool. Unless you do what I did in the simulation. I mean, what? Huh? What? Fuck? What? Huh? Huh? What? Huh? What? Did you hear something? I didn't say anything.
The Green team. The actions of this general are going to inspire other generals to do much of the same. A general that was supposed to go up and fight Colombia is now invading into the Pink team, defying orders from within. And what we see happening is more and more of these generals going out and doing whatever they want. It's clear that they're doing very good work as they.
Oh my god! Oh my god! They're actually pushing back. Oh my god, bro! Come on.
They command these, you know, dozens and dozens of divisions to go back.
Yes, go Brazil, go.
And take back this land. They are now proving to be much more efficient than the Brazilian Council. But then we have the Brazilian Council going ahead and declaring that all of the generals that are defying their orders.
Why? No. Why? Just why? No. Why? Why? No. Bad Brazilian Council. That's not. No. Why? Why you suck? I don't be cooking, by the way. Oh, hello, Raven. Hello. How you doing? You good? You good? I saw you you post now again. You starting posting again, which is good. Great. Continue. Cause you're one of the goats. So never give up. And never gonna let you down. Yeah, never give up, man. Really. Never Never give up. Never give up, man. I'm not a day old. Never give up, not really. Don't ever give up and all that. Where? But yeah, really. Times are only 2 people right now. Might yeah.
Are traitors. They've put out warrants for their arrest, warrants for their execution, and this is going to inspire something else. More specifically, these generals are going to declare their independence from Brazil. Now, this is a very confusing action because what do you mean you're declaring independence from Brazil? You're not necessarily a nation, so I guess a better
I mean, yeah, technically they're not. They're just like generals who like. Yes, the council sucks.
way to define this would be that the military generals are now forming military groups, their own militias that are not serving the Brazilian government, but serving those
What? Oh, okay. Yeah, so, yes, the council just sucks.
generals. And all the generals have different goals, you know? Maybe one of them wants to form a new Brazilian government, maybe another one wants to establish a military dictatorship across Brazil. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of everything. But this is the perfect opportunity for America to go ahead and just Swiss cheese through the rest of Brazil. Because at this point, Brazil has collapsed. The government is no longer functioning.
Yeah, it surely has been like almost 1 hour. Jeez.
Right? That little council slash group that was trying to control Brazil has split into 2 pieces. And I guess a way to better define that would be to do this. Brazil is now in full-on civil war.
Damn, that's also the color of the old African Union colony that was here. So, hey, that's a pretty, I mean, I don't know if that was done on purpose, but hey.
Full on, everything's falling apart. Full on, every ethnic community wants independence. Full on, everything has hit the fan. It is hashtag over in Brazil. The special thing about this country was that it had the ability to rule over so many different types of people without ever incurring any kind of revolution, any kind of rebellion, until now, of course. And that's mostly due to their strong fascist government. They have complete control over everything, and hence they have complete control over all of their civilians. But when America dropped those bombs, everything seemed to fall apart. It has only escalated further into what we see happening now.
Well, that's one more reason to hate America in this series. This was in wicso. So yeah, that's because they doomed Brazil. Thanks, guys.
By the way, this new government down here is still fascist. So these are 2 fascist governments fighting up against each other. And a little bit.
Oh my God, they're also fighting against each other. Oh my God, why?
Of that does happen, but for the most part, it's just America coming down and just sweeping everyone up. Now, what do the other fascist nations?
Yeah, come on, go help Brazil, guys. I know you can do it. Come on, man. Come on.
Think about what has happened up north here. Well, first of all, Uruguay is going to leave the war.
No. Why? No.
And declare their neutrality, which leaves northern Argentina a little bit mad and a little bit shocked, but they keep on fighting. Notably, though, with the exit of Uruguay from the war, we have the entrance of the red team into the war on the side of America. And their entrance
I hate my life.
is purely just to take back their old land, which they have lost not only to Brazil, but also the brown team. It's just that you probably don't want to mess with them right now. They just got out of the war, and they would definitely sweep the table with you in a 1v1. So for now, just focus on taking back your old land, which is exactly what they begin to do. We also see the purple team government here come down and wipe out a good majority of the rebellious forces that were under the control of the military general. While up here in the northern area, the same cannot be said, because this guy is on probably some stuff from Colombia up here, maybe. But he's taken over a lot of land. His divisions are severely spread out, though, which becomes his biggest blunder as both American and Ecuadorian forces move into the center of this occupied land and begin to destroy the military infrastructure of the region and also disconnect up a lot of the resourceful lines. Then it gives way for both America and the paint team over here to go ahead and start to take back some lost land in major cities. While over here in this theater, we see
I just don't know what to say. Like, guess it's just over for Brazil, guys.
Brazil and America forces eventually meet up after taking out this one general. We're gonna go ahead and leave Brazil here, though. We're gonna come back over here to South.
I'm still going to be depressed about what's going on for Brazil in this area, bro. Like, I'm I might just be depressed, guys. It's over.
East Asia, where we finally see China and South China take on Vietnam. Now, this process
Rips the real South China. RIP. They're dead too. Korea is dead.
was a very
What's next? The Dutch. I don't like where this war is going. Why are my favorite nation dying first? Why?
very lengthy one at first. Vietnam was doing an excellent job at defense. However, since the loss of a few more major cities, they have been on the complete collapse as South China fulfills the complete occupation of mainland Vietnam, while we have Chinese forces move down the coast and eventually take over the rest of the Strait of Malacca area, specifically their area as well. With Vietnam finally out of the way, China and the rest of their eastern allies will now focus purely on India. Now, in the meantime, while that Vietnam offensive was taking place, India did push back a little bit more than last time. However, like they saw before, they once again hit that Chinese stone wall and will no longer be able to advance.
It's over, guys. My favorite. Like, I don't know if I mean, I is probably not doing this on purpose, but like, why my favorite countries are dying first, and why the countries that I like the least are still alive? Why? Why is this happening to me? Like, why, bro? Why me? What did I do?
As now tons and tons of Chinese troops begin to come over to the border between them and India. Anyway, there's a meeting happening in the Assembly of Nations right now. It's pretty important. And the topic of the meeting is the fact that both America and China had just killed their own civilians while in the act of war. Diplomats from both America and China will be summoned to the floor of the Assembly of Nations to, I guess, try to justify their actions, and both of the diplomats will give a similar case. We killed our own civilians, not someone else's civilians. There was no humanitarian crisis here.
How is this not humanitarian crisis? How is this not? How? No, no. Okay, those two are capping now. They're just straight up lying.
Because this all happened within our own sovereign border.
Yeah, but that's still a bad thing because when Rome did it, it was. Unless they're biased.
You can't do anything because this was us. However, that is not necessarily true. The Assembly of Nations protects people regardless of the country they're in. And since America and China are both in a state of war, this can be considered a war crime. And so the Assembly votes. Do we take action against America and China?
I mean, wait, but oh my god. It's just going to be veto, isn't it? Those. Oh wait, no, because there is no veto. So, oh yeah, but like, because what's the point? I mean, Tibet is neutral, so they're probably going to vote yes. Ireland too, you know, but like America is obviously going to vote no, they don't want to be punished. Same for China, and their ally probably also going to vote no. So that means that Ireland, Tibet, Greece, and South Africa are the only one going to vote yes. So that means one. That means four, and one. That's me 1, 2. That means like 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not forgetting someone. Oh wait, so that's a 4 against 4. Or am I missing someone that is in the Security Council? This is the first word thing. Oh yeah, Mexico too. Yeah, so they're also going to vote no, of course. So yeah, just a 5 against 40. It's over.
Now, let's take a quick look at the Assembly of Nations map. There are
if I had waited like a few seconds, I hate myself.
Multiple Security Council members that are currently in World War V. In fact, a majority of the Security Council members are
yeah, exactly, and they're probably going to vote no, don't do that.
Currently involved in World War V, and they will vote against America and China.
Exactly, that's what I was saying. That means only 4 are going to say yes, punish them, and it's over.
They're receiving
5 against 4. So 5 is the majority.
Punishment from the Assembly during World War V. America, Mexico, West Africa, India, and China all vote no. Tibet will abstain from the vote. And then we have Ireland, Greece.
Tibet abstain. Bro, why? Tibet, I know you. This is not neutrality. This is just nothing happened behavior. Like, even Switzerland in Ireland isn't that neutral. Like, what?
In South Africa all voting yes. Now, what about the General Assembly? Well, they vote yes as well. So the General Assembly says yes, but the Security Council says no. What does that mean? Well, as it turns out, and under the direction of Ireland, Greece, and South Africa, there have been some secret meetings taking place in the British Isles. The topic of discussion
Nice. Oh, I like that. I like that.
was the Security Council itself. Is it too powerful and should it be abolished? Ireland, South Africa, and Greece are all willing to give up their status of Security Council members if it means taking away that power from America, China, and others. The General Assembly is in almost complete agreement. And of course, I'm talking about the non-participants in World War V, so that's the Mesopotamian countries, the South African countries, in fact, almost all the African countries, the neutral countries in South America, the neutral countries in Oceania, etc. Pretty much all of them are in favor of getting rid of the Security Council. At this point, a majority of the general body believes that the Security Council is just the world order. It's America and China's world order.
Oh, no, yeah, that's just a fair point. But hey, when the Dutch do it, it's bad and you got to rid of the organization.
And they have implemented it successfully.
That's not fair. Like, when America and China does it, oh, they can, like, everyone stays in the organization because it's fine. But when the Dutch do it, and so no signs of things like that, everyone leaves because it's the Dutch.
And almost like without being caught. Of course, now they have because they're in World War V. But yeah, the Assembly of Nations wants to abolish the Security Council, and that's exactly what they'll do. So a decision is made to abolish the Security Council, which doesn't really work because America and China, as the other majority members, are going to refuse it. So now we're in a very confusing state. Is there a Security Council in the AN? Well, some countries say yes, other countries say no. Additionally, Tibet is still abstaining because they want nothing to do with this world war.
Yeah, but Tibet, I mean, I know you're like, ends, like, you got like 2 members are in, but like, I mean, realistically speaking, like, Tibet, you're not worth fighting for, like mountains and shit. It just wouldn't be worth it. Especially when it probably would give an advantage to the other guy. Like, if China invade Tibet, that gives an advantage to India, and it wouldn't be worth it for China, and vice versa.
So what is the Assembly of Nations plan? This doesn't really seem like it's going to accomplish anything, right? Well, no, not necessarily, but it will inspire something. In Florida, the groups of military personnel deployed in their 4 major cities all make a very stunning decision. They declare that they no longer serve America,
Yes, Civil War.
And instead, they serve the people of America. And by this, they mean they are now in open rebellion. The American Revolution has begun. Thousands upon thousands of other military personnel stationed
Earlier when I looked up if they were going to have a civil war. Anyway,
in American cities begin to defy their orders and fight back against their very own government. Enough is enough. This government doesn't serve the people, this government serves the elites. Similar revolutionary movements are seen throughout the state of America.
As long as it doesn't become communism, I'm all for it.
As more and more of these major cities begin to rebel, the military forces here choosing not to serve their leaders, but to serve their people, as it should be. From Louisiana all the way up to Michigan, many of these military groups are doing exactly what they should have done from the start. America has finally woken up. No, I'm not talking about the government, I'm talking about the people. Quickly, the leaders of America will direct their forces to go deal with the revolutionary movements. I mean, at this point, we have an entire state breaking away up here. That needs to be dealt with. They're urging their citizens to bring up arms and to fight against these revolutionary movements to secure the sovereignty of America and to ensure that our country lives on. Except when the people go to pick up their arms, they're not fighting back against the revolutionary movements, they're fighting back against the government. It backfired.
Take that.
America set up checkpoints across their nation to give citizens military equipment to fight back against the revolutionaries. That turned out to be a horrible idea because now they're taking those guns and they're mowing down everyone in those military checkpoints. That idea was not a good one. Good job, American leader. He's going to declare martial law, and at that point, that is the breaking point. Now, a majority of American citizens are in favor of the revolution. But why are these revolutionaries so strong? I mean, really, they have taken over the entire state of Michigan and multiple major cities down here in the South. How can they be able to do this? Well, as it turns out, guess what? The Assembly of Nations did it. Their plan to stop this world war wasn't just to stir up civil conflict.
That's a good one. Yes, the Assembly of Nations. Maybe they're actually doing something, and the meme I posted a few days ago is no. well, not just wrong.
Within America and China, it was to bring about full-on revolution against the governments. They want to break down the elites, and that's exactly what has transpired here. Now, these revolutions are only in America, and it is that way for a little bit, because the Chinese government tries to do its utmost best to censor any kind of information that is pertaining to the American Revolution.
It's not gonna work, buddy. You're gonna collapse like America, like everyone. Like Korea did. The revenge.
Except they fail because it's the age of modernization and the internet exists. And once again, TubeU comes in the clutch and people see the revolution in America. And
wait, what did he say?
The internet exists. And once again, TubeU comes.
TubeU. It's fucking serious. Okay, no, that's a good one. Okay, now that's even better. That's probably one of the best jokes Eddie's ever made.
Comes in the clutch and people see the revolution in America.
TubeU, guys. It's not YouTube, it's TubeU.
And they're like, oh, our turn. It starts over here in this peninsula.
Nice.
As these major cities surrounding the Yellow Sea all go ahead and break away. The military personnel here are inspired by what they see in America and all decide to go ahead and say that they're now fighting for the people of China rather than the elite class that they have been fighting for this entire time. America and China never thought that the attack would come from within. Neither of them ever thought that their own people would rebel against them. They thought that they had done a good enough job at establishing a surveillance state.
Damn, that's just not thought about it, but geez, it is, you have a good microphone, unlike me, because was basically have to yell to it, or just barely gets into yellow level, but like it is like often gets into red here. What is, it's crazy. Jeez, it is just really good. Has a really good microphone and really knows how to speak up clearly, not figuratively anyway.
To ensure that everyone stays in line, but that is just completely false at this point. These fake democracies are now experiencing true democracy. The people have spoken, and the people have had enough. Back down in Brazil, the fighting continues on, as now though we see that the new Brazilian government that has just broke away starts to instantly crumble as well. As it turns out, the people within Brazil are rebelling against the rebellious government. Everything in Brazil is cooked. The rebels are rebelling from the rebels. This is like the worst that it can get for collapse. Brazil, for the entirety of this series, from here on out, and including the past, has the worst civil breakup of any country.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I feel like you could put Persindia also. Yeah. I mean, Persindia like had the civil war that was way longer, especially when you're considering like the full collapse of Persindia after it became Turkestan, or how the mapping calls it. No, I'm not calling with his new name. New Persia. But yeah.
Ever. But with the revolutionary breakout back home,
Indeed, it's probably one of the worst.
America is going to have to pull some of their forces out of Brazil to go deal with that. But on top of that, they also have to worry about these guys disobeying orders and breaking away, much like the domestic military has back home. Also, over in West Africa, we see a little rebellion.
Oh my god, even West Africa.
This group pop up. These guys similarly want to overthrow the elites in the country, even though they aren't as prominent as the elites.
I don't know what to think, cause I don't know if that 100% makes sense, cause like again they were fascist, and fascist, like historically, like IRL, like not in like extreme like Germany was, but like for example in Italy and Japan, like elites had a lot of power, so it's kind of surprising that unless like so transition from fascism to democracy went extremely well for West Africa and Wiscaho, but yeah.
In America and China, it is still a full-on class revolution, and they're going to want to throw hands. Now, with the breakout of all of the revolutions across America, China, and even West Africa, the Assembly of Nations' decision to abolish the Security Council is looking a little bit more promising. That is 3 Security Council members that have internal revolutions, and if those revolutions are successful, maybe you can take over that country and then, vote in favor of getting rid of the Security Council, so on and so forth. There's a lot of potential with these revolutions, so the Assembly of Nations is going to give them every bit of resource they need, and it's even going to be sending troops to these countries to fight back against America and China. Now, is it a full-on declaration of war by the Assembly? No, it's not. It is intervention, though. Will there be consequences? Maybe. Anyway, though, that is going to do it for today's episode on What If Civilization.
And yeah, indeed, that was it. yeah, that was it. You all know where this is going. You all know where this is going.
We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. Our full commitments while
Anyway, more seriously though, yeah, that was it. So, go watch the video of this bro, like and subscribe, and and subscribe to me as well, and like the live, and yeah, see you next time, I guess. Uh, and also, yeah, I hope you really got rickrolled here. But yeah, really,
waking up.
and yeah, until next time, I guess. I hope you have like whatever a good whatever time of the day it is for you, and enjoy your weekend, because I mean your end of weekend, because it's yeah. Anyway, goodbye, guys.